Hey guys, I'm walking with my friend Jan, who's visiting from Switzerland, and I think he was like a Berlin person for some reason. But we're talking about this idea of hunching, and I think it's really fun. So we're gonna talk about it. Do you want to explain it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is like a frame to move through spaces, especially if there's lots of stuff to do. So it could be like a party or a festival or like any event like that. You could also just do it in a city. And the idea is to, instead of moving around from intention and like trying to seek specific experiences, that you attune to like this hunch. And a hunch is this like, often it feels like a random idea of like, I want to go over there, or I want to have a kombucha. Well, I guess that's a more normal idea. And the idea is to subordinate like your normal way of like your normal desires and intentions to this like very subtle hunch.
And I feel like we've been doing that on this walk, or maybe I do this like all the time, but basically we decided to, I think this is a lot of how I like walk or like just like go about life. Mm-hmm. But it's like, oh, I feel an impulse, like I kind of want to go across there right now. Mm-hmm. To follow the trees or follow the flowers. Yeah. Or like I have this random impulse to check out this, like we went through that hole in the fence just because I wanted to go through the field.
That was extremely hunch coded. Yeah, that is a perfect example.
But this feels like a really fun game that you could play at parties, right? Especially like big ones or festivals where you're like, oh, let's just walk around and like follow our hunches. And it also develops your intuition. So it's like, so for example, we walked through this hole in the fence and we were halfway through this field and I was like, oh, I don't know if there's going to be a hole on the other side of the field's fences. And so we were like, maybe our hunch led us astray. But then there was an open door and it was fine and we did a shortcut. So who knows? Maybe that was like... So then there's like this retroactive storytelling or narrativizing aspect. I think it's really funny, but hopefully it's not too loud.
Yeah, it's like that part of it is like, it's optional, but to me it really it really amps up the like enchantment effect of this practice. And
yes.
that's acting as if there's some mysterious force that's like guiding you and like wanting you to find certain things or have certain experiences. And yeah, so that's another thing to try, of like almost follow the hunches, and as if they're like doing some like, you know, you're connecting the dots of some mysterious picture that you will only see looking back.
Yeah, and I like that too because there's sort of this whole theme that Jan's been going down around like re-enchantment of technology and spaces. Mm-hmm. I'll give just to finish my thought, and then maybe you can talk about that. I think it's kind of fun because I do feel like nowadays people have, maybe less so in like this past year, but past like 5 years ago, people had really lost touch with like the sacred and magical in their lives, and things lost meaning, and there was this sense of like atomization and randomness and like just like a loss of touch or connection with really beautiful things like that. Mm-hmm. But do you want to say more about that?
Yeah, I mean, some thinking was around how technology, especially AI, is supporting the sense of re-enchantment. But I think what you were saying, Christine, is like the bigger picture of just generally a cultural movement of like, mm-hmm. from this, we're these atomized little individuals on like this tiny dusty speck and nothing means anything.
Yeah.
To then like, okay, like all meaning is constructed and we just made it up, to actually feeling like, no, there is some larger pattern here. And yes, we made it up, but it's not all made up. You know, there is actually a genuine sense of things fitting together.
Yeah. And then what is your part about the tech side?
Well, in that, like for example, interacting with AI agents or even just chatbots, it feels like it retrieves some sense of like I'm almost like I'm summoning this like angel or demon or like genie, and like I can ask it questions or ask it to do things, and like we don't really know how it works, you know, like it's a literal black box, right? And it's there's some mystery in this, and also it kind of reminds of like animism, of like thinking that there's spirits in around, you know, and we can interact with them. Yeah.
Very cool. My arm is getting tired. So we can wrap it. Jan has a cool Substack. It's
called Octopus Yarn.
Octopus Yarn. And then I think the hunching thing's really fun because it also follows a lot on a thread I've been following around like developing my intuition and developing my trust in my own impulses and developing trust in like the idea that I can follow, like, we like walked through this hole in the fence and I was kind of like, oh crap, like why do I follow my intuition? You know, like your brain would usually shut it down and be like, let's not go through there, there's no point if we're gonna get stuck. But it's like a practice, it's like a muscle. And also with my improv classes, I feel like I'm learning to lean more into like stepping into an impulse, and usually it actually feels really correct for the moment. Like there's some swell of energy at like a party or like just like a moment in time, and you follow it and see where it takes you. So that's it for today. See you guys.